What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 302 of Littleroot Lessons. I'm your host, Angelo, and I'm joined today by the hardest working producer in Pokemon podcasting, Carl. How's it going, buddy?
I've been playing a little bit of the new DLC because my work schedule's been weird this week, so I have not had as much time as I wanted to play. But I am probably roughly halfway through looking through some of the stuff. I've played a little bit on my own time. But
I know you were streaming through
mostly played through the stream, and I think I've hit like 5 or 6 of the new Mega Stones, and I have a new favorite, and its name is Tatsugiri.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a lot of these megas. Tatsugiri getting a mega is like, for me, I'm not saying I will never say Dozo's unfair. It's annoying to play against, but the fact that now you go with one raid boss with the Dozo, because one of the the aspect of it was Tatsugiri wasn't an amazing Pokemon. It was really just to get the Dozo going, and once you beat that raid boss, the Giri's kind of just, like, it can do things, but it's kind of just there. But it was like, okay, it's doing things with, like, Focus Sash, or maybe it's like a Scarf Mon to try to clean up with Muddy Water. Well, now it's doing things by Mega Evolving, so it's like you deal with one statted up Mon that doubles all of its stats, and then that's over. Okay, I'm pressing the funny button now, because I could be Commander Tatsu, and then whatever ability the Mega gets, unless they just keep it Commander, and even then, it's still getting 100 more stat points.
Could you imagine if it keeps Commander, but then it's like a bigger boost to Dozo if you Mega Evolve and then go in Commander? Can you imagine that? I doubt that's how that's going to work.
I hope that's not how it works.
We do know that Commander is in the game.
Yes, and we'll talk about that, I think, as we're going through this tier list.
Mechanics. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those, because there's some cool mechanics going on behind the scenes still.
Yeah.
For ZA,
yeah, for my DLC playthrough, I played for a couple hours the night it dropped, so Tuesday night, and then it's just been insanely busy for me. Just a lot of stuff with my lodge. I'm going to hopefully be able to play a little later this weekend. I've seen two of the new megas in the game, and in general, though, I'm like, I like, this was a list that I kind of already spoiled for myself.
Yeah, this one kind of was spoiled for us a little early because they were able to get some of this information out. There were some things that we didn't get to see. I'm moving some specific Pokemon to the back because I want to talk about them all together.
Yeah, so like those, like certain type changes, of course we didn't know the stats or anything or what they looked like, but like we knew, like, oh yeah, Chimecha was getting the Mega, Heatran was getting the Mega, etc.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really cool Megas that we have on this list. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, we do have the other Megas from the first part of the main game, and we're going to start doing some tier listing, trying to think or forecast VGC just based on the stats that they have, their type changes, etc. And we might,
and this will kind of help us give us a gauge on like how good maybe the new megas are compared to what we talked about the first time.
Yeah,
that was kind of the idea. It's like I want to have, we know what we thought on the first set of megas. Now, if we put the new megas next to them, like, are they better, worse, meh, somewhere in that range?
Yeah. And of course, we're going to spend like maybe a little more time on the newer megas just to overall discuss what they're doing, because we've had these.
We've talked about
for a month or two.
These other ones are for the most part. It's mostly just going to be ranking these pretty fast based on their stats and potential.
So do you want to just dive right into it then?
Yeah.
Let's dive right into with Meganium. I think Meganium's going to be good.
Yeah, but Grass Fairy is iffy on the typing. The typing is going to probably be what holds Meganium back more than anything, but its stat-wise, going from what its stats were to what its stats are going to be,
I think
a very big boost.
Yeah, gaining 60 points of special attack, 15 points in special defense.
It's 15 in both defenses.
15 in both defenses. Yeah, 15 in both defenses and 60 points of special attack. One of the things that will help Meganium more than some of the other the other main Grass Fairy that we've seen in the past, being Tapu Bulu, is that Meganium will actually have access to Fairy type stab, assuming it keeps that. Does it have Dazzling Gleam already, or was that a new addition?
I believe it did not have Gleam before.
I think
but
it's safe to
has
say
it
that it's
now.
going to keep Gleam.
I think it will. Like
Yeah.
it would be weird to not have it have a Gleam.
Yeah.
Going
So the
forward.
fact that it has stab moves in both, like it has its grass stab
it
and
has
its
stab
fairy.
moves that are good in its
Yep.
move damage type.
Yeah.
That was the problem with Bulu. It's like Bulu doesn't get any of the good physical fairy
no
moves.
play rough.
So like what are you gonna do with it? But now you get Meganium with the grass fairy that actually has moves that covers that'll actually damage things. Again, grass fairy as a type isn't fantastic. I think it's 5
The times
weaknesses.
I was going to say, so your times for poison. So times for poison weakness, you have a fire weakness, a flying weakness, a ice weakness. That's 4.
Steel.
Yes, you have a steel weakness. Yep. So yeah, 5 weaknesses, which isn't that great. Again, it's ice and fire are very common offensive typings. It does also help that you do have a powder immunity and you pick up the dragon immunity as well. So it's not all bad on the typing. It's just I think the ability is going to be the kicker of, is this just a solid mega or is this like a really great mega?
Yeah, because currently Meganium's ability is Overgrow or Leaf Guard. The mega will definitely have to have some kind of decent ability probably to help push this into the great tier.
Yeah. Moving on, again, I think you can to an extent say the same thing about Feraligatr. I think it's
Feraligatr and Emboar probably can be kind of talk about the same vein because they're both just slightly heavier hitters of their current forms. Emboar being just a little bit bulkier and actually a lot more bulkier. Feraligatr did not get as much bulk in my
so Feraligator's bulk improvement was looks like 25 points to its defense, going from 100 to 125. 10 points in its special defense, going from 83 to 93. And of course, the big kicker is that it also got a 55-point boost to its physical attack stat, bringing it up to 160. 78 is just a really weird speed tier. Typing wise is really good. Like it, yes and no. It depends. Typing wise is Fluttermane in the format.
Yeah, the typing wise is the big deal. It's just like Water Dragon overall is a very, very strong pairing. We've seen it on things like Kingdra before. And Kingdra's stat total is not great, and people still play this with this Pokemon just because Water Dragon is such a good typing and good coverage spread. 160 attack is nothing to sneeze at either. It's going to hit hard. If it keeps Sheer Force, that's really, really good.
Yeah, and I think
if it doesn't keep Sheer Force, it gets a different ability. It's probably like what's the? It's not. It's Tough Claws is the claws and whatnot. I wasn't sure if
Strong Jaw.
Strong Jaw. That's the word. Yeah. Which that'd be fine. I think.
Yeah, if it gets
it'd be in the good category.
If it gets especially if it get, well, I'm not saying getting Vicious Rend, but like a Vicious Rend.
Oh god, I didn't even think about that.
Well, I was going to say another jaw type water attack, because one of the things that you do have to realize is if it doesn't get any boosting attack like that, the Life Orb Sheer Force normal for Alligator will actually, as long as you're using a move that goes for Sheer Force, it'll actually do more damage than the base 160 attack. Mm-hmm. So that is something to keep in mind, where depending on the way the ability works, this could be a case where the normal form actually can swing harder. But that's why we're putting it in good. Honestly, I know I think Mega Emboar is closer to meh than good.
Yeah, that was kind of
firefighting.
Emboar doesn't change. It's a firefighting type before. It becomes, if it's still a firefighting type going into it, you get it's 25 attack.
So 25 attack. The big change is you get looks like 45 special defense. Pretty much the Mega Stone gives it the Mega Stone for Mega Emboar is like a souped up AV that's pretty much what it is. You're getting almost a 50%
You're
or
getting
so
just
boost.
I think it's like 60. It's almost 60% boost because it's 65.
And you also get like a little more attack and can click protect. So that's kind of like the way to view. I would view Mega Emboar in that sense. And with that all being said, it's like firefighting just isn't good enough.
No, like if firefighting's typing is kind of fine. It's not great. The big thing is like the stat distribution does no help to Mega Emboar. It's very much going to be very similar to what it's doing without the Mega, and its ability would probably need to be very good to get it into the good tier.
Yeah. So Barbaracle, this is another Mega Pokemon that actually, didn't gain a type, but had a type change, going from Rock Water to Rock Fighting when it Mega Evolves. Rock Fighting being an insanely good offensive typing, being able to have stab moves, like stab for moves like Close Combat, Rock Slide, etc. Like, this is a really, really good offensive typing. Defensive, like we'll talk about, like just bad, no, not good, but the bulk on this Pokemon, when it does Mega Evolve, it goes from 115 defense and 86 special defense to 130 and 106 in those stats respectively. So you do get some decent natural bulk. You're also at 140 base attack when you Mega Evolve and 88 speed. I could see this being like a solid wall breaker, because of the fact that you're getting like 140 base attack, stab, close combat. And then if you keep the ability, so it has Tough Claws as an ability. If you're keeping Tough Claws, I think that would be really good.
Yeah.
I would say though, like it would probably be good. I think I could see this being a monster more so in singles than doubles.
It probably is a singles battle wrecker. Like this thing probably just wrecks people in singles. Doubles, like you mentioned, Rock Fighting as a type combination is a little scary.
It's like great offensively.
It's great offensively, not so great defensively. I think it's 7 weaknesses in ground in the Rock Fighting. So
not
definitely struggle. But overall, it's probably fine. Like you said, 130 and 106 is pretty decent in defenses, especially for a rock type. I can see this probably being on the low end of good. If its ability is really bad, it might push it down, but we'll have to see what its ability will be, and that'll probably determine if it moves up or down. Starmie, I kind of want to just put it in good to great.
I think it could be great though.
It could. We know a lot about Starmie. We get to cheat here. We get to do a little bit of inference because we understand that Starmie is probably going to have either huge power / pure power. As at stat, for those that don't know, it doubles the attack stat, and Starmie got some extra bonuses to its attack in ZA, like Metacham and Mawile did, which both notably have that pure power and huge power respectively.
I think really the thing that will affect Starmie more than anything is going to be what is that physical psychic stab move that it's going to be able to use.
That's the kicker, because right now I think we only have access to Zen Headbutt as a physical psychic move in ZA.
In ZA, you have Zen Headbutt is the only one, and so Zen Headbutt, it's 80 base power, 90 accuracy.
That's really not good.
No.
We needed like a Psycho Cut, which I could see this thing getting Psycho Cut. And if we get to champions, I could see them giving it Psycho Cut just for coverage. I'm not sure if Psycho Cut's a TM in this game.
Yeah, I'm going through right now. I'm just seeing what other things it learns. It looks, because like even just in past games, like what it was looking at in like BDSP. In general though, I think like that's the big thing when you're looking at so it's probably going to be a base 100 base 100 physical attack, along with, I'm going back to it. Base 100 special attack, along with you have 105 defenses, 120 base speed. This thing's going to be fast. It's going to hit very hard with that huge power boost. You're going to have Aqua Jet as well as an option, so you can just really use this Pokemon as a great wall breaker. It's just like what is that psychic type coverage.
Yeah, the psychic type coverage is going to be critical. Notably, this thing does have access to flip turn on that base 120 speed, so it's almost hitting scarf levels of I'm going to pivot out and bounce around and do stuff. So that's kind of neat. Like I said, the physical side is going to be what determines how good this Pokemon is, because you have the good physical water moves and like waterfall and liquidation, and maybe access to wave crash in the future.
That would be massive.
We have access to things like triple axle and ZA. That could be pretty cool coverage for Starmie. Yeah, I like Starmie a lot. I think there's potential to be great. But until we know for sure like what that moveset's going to be, top of good is probably a good spot to put it.
And I also think good is where we can move Venusaur to. This is just wrong one. Looking at the wrong
talking about these. We're
not talking about them. We know about them. Pyroar's bad. I think it's
Pyroar did not get any real benefit. It got 20 in special attack and 20 in speed. And then I think it's 20 in attack. It's defenses, and it's literally just 20s down the board. And that's never a good sign for a Mega. It feels like this is just a thematic filler Mega rather than being an actual good or bad Mega. Depending on what the ability is, because I can tell you right now, most Pyroar suck.
Yeah. Like
Moxie
right now,
is fine. But
Unnerve is like whatever. Rivalry sucks. But like again, we're going through the stats: 86 HP, 92, 86 defenses, 129 special attack, 126 speed. Like these are the stats of a good Pokemon that doesn't need an item and a generational gimmick to get to these stats. The fact that you And again,
have to waste your gimmick to get to that is the problem.
Yeah, and like that's the thing where it's like we aren't going and calling Pyroar in a cosmic sense. Mega Pyroar isn't a bad Pokemon; it has good stats. But when you look at the opportunity cost of everything, you can arguably say it's the worst Mega we got.
Yeah, it just stat distribution is just like, oh, we'll just add 20s to everything and call it fine. And it's if Pyroar wasn't seeing play at the numbers it was already seeing, I don't think the Mega's going to help it any.
No. Moving on to Clefable, so I'm
on the fence. So
I am too.
There's some good things that Clefable can do, but I think what it's going to be is going to come down to how important what it does to the game is. For those that aren't aware, Mega Clefable looks and acts a lot like Togekiss.
Yep.
Togekiss, for those that have been playing just for Scarlet and Violet, Togekiss was a very, very important Pokemon in Sword and Shield and other formats, being a fairy and flying type with redirection and decent stats and could hit really hard. Honestly, you could probably look at Togekiss, and then compare it to, its stats to Mega Clefable and kind of get an idea on how good this Pokemon's going to be. So, Togekiss is 85 HP, 50 attack, 95 defense, 120 special attack, 115 special defense, 80 speed. Mega Clefable is 95 HP, 80 attack, 93 defense, 135 special attack, 110 special defense, 70 speed.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to waste your Mega on? Maybe. The 135 special attack is
really nice.
Is a decent boost to Clefable.
Yeah.
Just
and I think there's going to be other things. Like I'll say this, one of the things that I would be interested in is if Mega Clefable, they did give it Air Slash again to just have it move. What if it gets a move like an ability like Aerialate? And that's it. All of a sudden, you have access to all of these normal type attacks that are really good and really accurate. Does it get Hyper Voice?
Probably.
I'm just checking right now. Yes, it does. So, Aerialate Hyper Voice, we know is very, very good. And just, again, giving this Pokemon a spread move that isn't Dazzling Gleam, so you can play Hyper Voice as your stab flying spread move with Moonblast. That's really good. Another ability that I could see them giving Mega Clefable, an ability that its middle form has, but Clefable doesn't, is if you're getting Friend Guard as well,
Going
and you
back to
become a
Friend
super
Guard.
offensive Friend Guard mon with the redirection, pretty much taking all the best parts of Clefable and Clefairy, combining them and giving it even more special attack and a flying immunity and the flying type. I could see that if like it gets one of those two abilities, I can absolutely say that it's a great mon. I think just in general the tools that it has, I could see a world where Clefable is more likely than a lot of these other mons to being like really good. So I don't want to just put everyone in good. I think we should at least put it in great.
Yeah, I already put it there.
Yeah,
If
perfect.
Clefable at worst is probably the bottom end of great, top of good. Just based alone on what we've seen other Pokemon with similar move pools and typings do. This is a Pokemon I wouldn't mind. Like we talked about how like Pyroar's stats are something you probably wouldn't want to waste a Mega Evolution on. Clefable getting an immunity when flying. Maybe its ability, like you said, goes to that Friend Guard and it becomes a more protective style Pokemon, or it becomes more offensive and has that Aerialate, whereas regular Clefable still does its bulky, unaware thing without the Mega and still has a purpose outside of that, which kind of gives you that dual purpose of I can go hyper offensive or I can go full support and I can play back and forth.
Yeah.
Scolipede, I kind of want to put it in good because the stat changes are huge. But I don't know if the typing is going to be good enough for the typing it's got. We talked about how Clefable's stat changes are good for it, and because it's kind of a decent swing. Scolipede has a huge swing from what regular Scolipede is to what Mega Scolipede is.
Yeah, if you're going through it, so you're going from base 100 attack, 89 defense, 69 special defense, and 112 speed, to 140 attack, 149 defense, 99 special defense, and dropping its speed all the way down to 62. So you do lose a lot of your speed. I think one of the things that you can play around with, and when we talked about this Pokemon initially, it's a mon that can play both ways. You can have it play as a faster mon, or you can turn it like immediately Mega Evolve it, and at 62 speed, it's a solid Trick Room mon. Depending on the minimal speed you want to put, if you want to put like a little bit of speed into it, like you could go and also play like keep it don't mega it, protect for a turn, maybe like redirect, get like a couple speed boosts in, and after 2 or 3 speed boosts, that 62 speed might not matter, and you then go and you Mega Evolve like turn 2-3 instead of sending out there immediately. This is a Pokemon that will have, I think, a lot of skill expression in using, because it almost is, with its speed stat and its at least base form ability, to an extent 2 different Pokemon. I am very curious on how it plays. I think like I'm not usually a big bug type Pokemon like person. I think it has a potential to be like a really interesting and cool mon to use, depending on what the rest of the metagame is for champions, and of course what its Mega Evolution's ability is. This is something that I might be interested in using. I don't know if it'll be good. I just think it'll be fun and interesting.
I need to see if this thing gets body press before I probably put it in good.
Actually, let's.
Body press isn't in ZA, so
yeah. So we're not. So if it, yeah,
we're
if
not
it gets,
sure yet.
If it gets body press and you have body press along with like that, we know that like a poison typing in general is solid depending on how many fairies are in the format. Like if this is a format dominated by Meganium, Clefable, etc., being able to be like, okay, well, stab, poison jab, or gunk shot or whatever off of that massive base 140 attack, yeah, that'll play. But yeah, I could say like right now it's probably like meh to good. But there also are going to be worlds where it could be great. Another one that I think is going to be meh is probably Mega Victory Bell.
Yeah, it's kind of in that same vein of like if Poison's type, like Poison as a typing is good, Victory Bell probably will be fine. This is another one where it's Mega like has a decent stat swing, but we don't know what its ability is, and so we kind of need to know. Are Are we going to stick with chlorophyll? Are we going to be fast and bulky at the same time? Are we getting something different? Are we getting that what we talked about when we were speculating was like that
corrosion plus.
corrosion. Either they change corrosion or a different ability that's like corrosion, things like that. It could also be a thick fat Pokemon. Who knows?
Yeah.
I
think one of the things that really hurts it more than anything, it's similar to the way that they distribute Pyroar, is the fact that it got 35 points to its special attack and then 20 points to its physical attack, where so your base 135 special, base 125 physical, where it's like you have that mixed attacker, but in VGC that just doesn't work. You would have rather have been like
140 something in special,
yeah,
or something like
exactly.
that, because at least picking one or the other. I understand why they did it, because base Victory Belt is that same kind of vein of,
Yep.
oh, I can be a physical attacker, I can be kind of maybe a special attacker if you need to. I would have preferred if they had leaned harder in Mega Victory Belt on being a physical attacker rather than a special attacker, mostly because most of Victory Belt's move pool is physical moves and physical boosting stuff like Sword Stance.
Doesn't get nasty plot.
Like things like that just would have been better suited for, in my opinion, as a physical attacker. But it's probably just meh. Like the grass poison we've seen before is fine as typing wise, but stats are always going to play a bigger role.
Yeah.
This one, I'm putting this one in great. Yeah, this one's great. You are technically 1 point faster than Garchomp,
yep,
which is your main competition for Excadrill in terms of like knowing like what you can survive, what you need to live. If this thing keeps Sand Rush, that's huge. I don't think it keeps Sand Rush.
I'm not sure what it's going to get an ability. Just to go through the stat changes, your attack stat increases from 135 to 165. Defense increases from 60 to 100. And your speed increases from 88 to 103. So yeah, it got a lot of stats. I think they did put 15 points into special attack, but in the grand scheme of things, they put the numbers generally where you had to put them. Yeah. Base 165 attack with ground steel typing. Like we already know that Excadrill is a bit of a menace in sand, especially in slightly lower powered formats. And one of the kickers is, okay, well, without the sand up, it's going to be a little slow. Yeah, 103 is a great number. Anything above that 100 point is always going to be good. Now, in a format with other megas that could outpace that point, maybe like it's not as amazing as we're making out to be, but like right now, just
that's the trade-off, right?
There,
is in the matchups where the megas are going to outpace you, just don't mega. You still have a 135 attack stat and Sand Rush, so you will outspeed and move first most of the time under Sand. And then in the matchups where Sand is gone and they're not really quite keeping up with you speed-wise, you can afford to mega and maybe change your ability and whatever and hit things. Excadrill just overall is just really good.
Yeah, and that, with you were saying, like, change the abilities, that's also where I was getting at, where going back to, again, early Generation 8, when Togekiss was so good, a lot of times Togekiss was paired with Mold Breaker Excadrill. Like, there were, of course, people running the Sand Rush Excadrill with Tyranitar with that whole group, but you could just run Mold Breaker Excadrill. Base 88 in that sort of format was solid, and you can go and attack these Levitate Pokemon with ground type
Mold Breaker Mega Excadrill would be insane.
That would be really cool to have. Or even just being able to just play them on, not as a sole like Sandbot, but just playing it as a Pokemon that fills that Steel type on your Fantasy Core and your physical attacker. Yeah, this is a really great Pokemon. I used it in my in-game playthrough. It's really awesome. And I think another Pokemon, just keep on throwing them in great. I think Dragonite's going to be great.
Yeah, Dragonite's going to be great. Electros is technically next. Electros got the shit end of the stick, and
second worst Mega.
They went and did the whole physical special. We're going to make you both kind of split.
Yeah,
it did get 30 points in speed, so it is faster. But it's likely losing Levitate as an ability in terms of the Mega, which already makes it worse. than what regular Electros is already doing if it loses Levitate. So yeah, definitely not great. Dragonite, Mega Dragonite's going to be good, especially because we might have gotten a sneak peek of what this Pokemon's ability is. Maybe.
I don't think it's going to be Wonder Guard.
If I would be surprised if it's not. They usually when they do placeholder abilities like that, it's usually something farther up in the alphabet, not just W.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was specifically Wonder Guard on the screen, for that short time, it makes me lead that this is probably what it's going to be.
I'm going.
Wonder Guard Dragonite is dragon flying in general. It's 4 weaknesses. Like you have plenty of options to cover this thing and hit this thing. 2 of the typings that it's weak to are normally fairly common offensively in Fairy and Dragon. So it's like most people are going to have ways to hit this Pokemon regardless.
I think if it is Wonder Guard, it might just be the best Pokemon in the format.
I don't know if it'd be that good. There's definitely some.
There's some
megas coming up that I think are probably better than that.
Let me rephrase. I think it'll be one of the most like centralizing in terms of you're going to need multiple answers on your team to make sure you just don't lose to this Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, just so we know, one of the big switches now. The attack stat did go a little. No, the attack stat dropped a little, but you still have a decent attack.
So regular Dragonite's very physical leaning. Mega Dragonite's very special leaning.
Yes.
Physical Dragonite can still be a thing under Mega Dragonite, but you actually take a damage reduction when you do that.
Yep, 134 to 124, and your special attack jumps from 100 to 145. Then you also look at the 115 defense, the 125 special defense, your 91 base HP stat, and it jumps to the base 100 speed mark, which is the benchmark of are you fast or not. So now this Pokemon is fast. I can say like the quote unquote downside is that you are going to be running moves that miss in regards to like Draco Meteor, Hurricane, etc. On the other side of that, we know how good Rain is. This could be a preeminent, and also how good Dragon types are on Rain. This could become like the preeminent Rain Sweeper Mega, where you can just launch off these automatic hitting hurricanes off that base 145 and the stab. That's going to be where, like, again, and then throw in what the ability could be, whether it's Wonder Guard, Aerialate, Friend Guard. Like, I think this thing's going to get or even if it just keeps multi-scale, this thing's probably going to get
it's going to be disgusting regardless.
Yeah. Malamar sucks.
Yeah, this thing's not great. Malamar, the big change was what? It's like it's got a boost to its special defense.
Yeah.
And nothing outside of that really changed. It doesn't do a whole lot. Dragalge's interesting. It's not super pertinent, but
I think it's also another meh one when you look at it.
It's got a real big boost to its special attack, being I think it's like a 35-point jump.
To 132.
Notably, its defenses are both sky high. Poison Dragon's a very decent typing in terms of coverage. It's good in Trick Room.
Yeah, I think it could be good.
It's in that same vein. Like there's these 3 poison types, and they're all going to probably be sitting there for a while because it's just like, how good are fairy types? How good is poison coverage in this format? Because when poison coverage is good, these 3 will probably jump up because they're actually really okay megas for the most part. But then if poison's not good,
they're not going to be good.
They're not going to be good. Frostlass. It's fast, isn't it? Yeah, 120 and 140. It's paper.
Yeah, no, it is. They did up its special defense to 100. I could see a world where if this thing gets snow warning and through that your defense stat is effectively base
boosted.
105 instead of base 70 because of the snow boost.
Like,
I could see it being a lot better.
This is a low good high meh mon. Like if its ability is good, it's probably going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
If its ability is bad, it's probably going to be bad because we have things like Sucker Punch in the format, and that really, really hurts.
Yeah.
Scrafty Scrafty didn't feel great when I played it with it in ZA, but that might be a different story where we have Intimidate like on switch in, and then we get to Mega, and then we're good defensively again because we got
You
the
have Fake Out, you have Parting
-1.
Shot as well.
Right.
Like I think it's so again, it's a Pokemon that could depend on the ability. It did get they did put the stats in the right spot. Your 90
Yeah,
base attacks.
it was very min-max
Yeah.
stat wise. They did not do the mistake of adding too much special attack to Scrafty.
They only gave it 10 points. Your attack stat jumps from 90 to 130. Your defenses, which are both 115, both jump to 135. And then you go from a 58 speed stat to a 68 speed stat. Again, I think that Scrafty in general, the fact that it did get Parting Shot in this game, if Incineroar isn't in base game, Scrafty kind of plays that Incin at home sort of mode. And
it actually becomes a very decent intimidator. Like,
yeah, no, it actually like because you have Fake Out, you have Intimidate, you have Parting Shot. You can argue that Close Combat is just better stab to have than Flare Blitz. You keep the knockoff. Like if there is no Incin, I actually think Scrafty could become really, really good. The downside is defensively, Fire is just a better defensive type than Fighting.
Yeah.
Because now you have to deal with the fact that instead of being neutral to Fairy, you're times 4 weak to Fairy. Yeah. But overall, like, and that's not even going into the Mega. But again, in the world where Scrafty is in base decks and Incin isn't, it could turn into a situation where maybe Mega Scrafty's great, but just like Scrafty base form is just better to have in its base form.
Yeah, like it's just the best intimidator we have access to.
Yeah.
Chandelure, I want to put this in good. I think part of Chandelure's allure in previous formats is always the fact that it's like anti-Trick Room mon. It's a decently speedy Pokemon that has access to Trick Room, good special attack. The Mega accentuates this. It does a lot of the same stuff. It's like, oh, you have really good special attack.
Really good's an understatement. 175.
That's really good. It was already 145, so it's like 170 at the point of 145, 175 doesn't change the math a whole lot. It's still going to OHKO most things when it hits things. The big change is the 20s to the defense and then the 10s to speed.
Yep.
Those are all good things. Mega Chandelure is just Chandelure a little bit better. So do you use your Mega on that? Maybe. I don't. The Megas, in my opinion, for VGC, they have to be defining. You want to get in a big advantage with your Mega. Chandelure just becomes slightly better Chandelure. So I don't see it being crazy popular and crazy good, but if the ability's better, it could probably push it up higher on this list, in my opinion. I'd probably put it here. It's already just base stat wise better than these two probably, but if the ability is good, it probably pushes it closer to Starmie.
Yep. I don't. So Greninja's another one where they went and min-maxed it.
This is weird. Greninja's
attacks.
weird.
So
it also has weird mechanics in ZA. Because Water Shuriken changes based on regular Greninja or Mega Greninja, and so we don't know exactly what that means ability-wise.
So for the listeners and the Angelo on the pod, what is that change?
So Water Shuriken normally is a multi-hit base 25 power move. Will hit 5 in ZA. It hits 5 times, and that's all it is. For Mega Greninja, it changes from a multi-hit move to one singular giant shuriken, and it deals a lot of damage in one blow.
Okay.
It hits really hard. So what that might mean for Greninja going forward, I haven't a clue. Greninja in general was always one of those weird mixed attacker Pokemons, like design-wise. The Mega still has that same problem, 125 attack, 133 special attack. The big benefit for Greninja is it hits 142 speed. That is very, very fast in this format.
Yeah.
It's
not the fastest.
It's probably good.
Yeah, I think like just between the speed and the special attack and the utility that the Mon can have, it can be good. It's Greninja, so odds are it will get a good ability. It's one of the most popular Pokemon in the entire franchise, so they're going to do it the same way they would do Charizard. It's not going to get screwed, and therefore it probably ends up being good. But
Yeah.
I can also see a world where it just drops a meh and no one uses it.
Yeah.
Phalanx is
Power Rangers. That's all I see when I see Phalanx.
I love this. So yes, and that because of that, I like design wise, I love this Pokemon. Like just stat wise, you have 135 attack, 135 defense, 65 special defense, 65 HP, and 100 speed. You do have the your signature move called No Retreat, which is a +1 to every single stat in exchange for not being able to switch. I don't know how useful that will be.
The big kicker is regular Phalanx is Defiant.
Yes.
That is the determining factor on how good Phalanx, Mega Phalanx is. If you get that Defiant, you become good. You become very good as a Mega Phalanx. If you don't get the Defiant boost, you probably fall down into the meh range. 135 is still fine. But then you're likely very easily to intimidate. You get to pivot in on switch, do all that stuff, and your 135 attack stat locked in with no retreat. You feel real bad.
And especially because just one intimidate switch in gets rid of that attack change if you want to Defiant. I'd say I put it in that. Also, like mono fighting just isn't a good type.
Yeah, mono fighting's not great typing wise. It's not awful. It's just you take a lot of neutral hits. Not great, and so
being like, I mean, we've tagged Mons for being Fairy Weak. Like again, like this is another Fairy Weak Mon,
especially when the special defense does not do you any justice. Like you're going from 60 to 65. Like it is not good.
Yeah. A Pokemon that we've seen a lot of around like fringe teams during the Scarlet and Violet era is this Chestnut, and it got a lot of really good stats again. Its change is going from a base 107 attack to 137, 122 defense to 172 defense, 75 speed. 75 special defense to 115 special defense, and a speed drop from 64 to 44.
This is the definition of min-maxed.
It's min-max body press.
Yeah, this Pokemon, in my opinion, is actually going to probably be very good. The typing is what's going to hold it back some.
Yeah.
Grass fighting as a typing isn't super great. Big weaknesses to poison, flying, fairy, fire, psychic, ice. Like your fighting doesn't take away any of the big bad grass weaknesses, and all it does is actually make some of them worse.
Yeah, you also add in the like your quad flying weakness, you add a psychic weakness, you add a fairy weakness. Depending on the ability, the ability is probably going to matter here a lot. But even then, it's just with your stats as high as they are. This is a preeminent bulk up mon. It's a amazing body. It's like not even just like the iron defense body press. You could do like a bulk up body. Press.
You can get away with bulk up body press on this one. It is
because you also have the 137 easy. Physical attack, and you could do like protect, bulk up, body press, wood hammer. Like go nuts.
Yeah, have at it. Go fun. Have fun.
Yeah.
This thing, it also is notably being a grass type, has access to things like Leech Seed, so this could probably become one of the more preeminent like Stolly Pokemon in the format with body press.
You keep Wide Guard.
You keep Wide Guard, so that's good. So there's a lot to like. You also have access to things like Curse instead of body press. If Curse is more your speed, you can go for Curse and be better under Trick Room. Whatever you need to do, this Pokemon probably will do it. I'm hesitant to put it in great, but
I think good's fine
because I want to see the ability. But good feels good.
Yeah, Skarmory, I'm a little mixed on. I don't know, like it does change the way it plays. So Skarmory very well known.
Flips the script and how it wants to play, just kind of like how Scolipede does. But Scolipede being fast to slow feels fine. Skarmory being slow to fast is a little awkward.
Yeah, so this Skarm is definitely a Pokemon that you're sending it out and you're Mega Evolving it immediately because you do not want to play. If you're using Mega Skarmory, you do not want to play in base
Yeah,
Skarmory.
this is a must mega all the time.
Yeah. So the stat changes. You go from 80 attack to 140. Your defense stat drops from 140 down to 110. So you still have a good base defense at 110. It's just not as good. Special defense increases from 70 to 100. So now you're at 110, 100 base defenses instead of the 140, 70. And speed jumps from 70 to 110. So you go from a very slow Pokemon to an incredibly fast Pokemon. Overall, looking at the stats, like the stats that matter, your only bad stat is your HP being at 65. 140 base attack is really great. Like, I feel like Mega Skarmory can become the Pokemon that everyone wants Corviknight to be.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna lead with. It's like this is what they want Corviknight to be. You technically do get to do the same kind of Brave Bird, Iron Defense, Body Press, that kind of thing. You still can do that with Skarmory in this with the Mega, but you also get the benefit of your flying type coverage is going to hit a whole lot harder without having to have all those attack boosts and whatnot.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that you're base 140, I can easily just see a basic initial set of Protect, Roost, Iron Head, Brave Bird, go nuts.
Yeah, just have at it.
Yeah. Ability will matter for this Pokemon as well. I think if it has a good ability, it'll easily be just a great Pokemon. And even now, just talking through it, I wouldn't hate putting it in probably great. Just Steel Flying is just always good.
That was gonna be my argument to try and get it up there. Is like Steel Flying is really
I have
good.
No issue putting it there. Like talking through it.
Mega Delphox, this thing,
it's ability based.
The stat totals might make that Mega Delphox fine. This is another one of just like, this is a must Mega every time you play it. If you're going to play Delphox, you're not letting it sit as a Delphox. You're going to Mega Evolve this Pokemon, mostly due to the fact that you're hitting 134 speed.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact: 134 puts you faster than everything up in the Great Tier.
Yeah.
Fire Psychic as offensive coverage. You hit pretty much everything for neutral in some shape or fashion. I don't think anything resists both Fire and Psychic off the top of my head, like a base type.
Fires.
I don't think there is anything that resists both.
I don't think so either.
So you're hitting something new for neutral damage all the time. Again, like you said, this is going to have if the ability's good, then this Pokemon probably is good, but this is another one of those must Megas every time you play it. Mostly because the stats on the physical side don't change at all, and it's all just dumped into the special and speed.
It's kind of like looking at this mon, it's kind of like a Fluttermane-esque in terms of the way that the stats are. And we know how great that Pokemon is. Like, if Mega Delphox gets Levitate, it'll probably be like solid. You could play it, but there's like talk like get something like Psychic Surge, which it probably won't. But yeah, if you get something like Psychic Surge, it'll go from good to like not just great, but holy crap.
Yeah.
Next is Drampa. Drampa is our last Pokemon of the old
new Megas.
Yes. I don't
it's
know. Kind of just does Drampa things.
It's weird. You want Drampa to be doing like berserk things, but in ZA you don't get to do that. So it's like it's still a decent Pokemon, like 135 special attack for base. The Mega goes to 160 and has decent defenses, so you can do the berserk thing if it keeps berserk.
So the ability a lot of people have guessed on this Pokemon that, again, I think would take it from meh all the way to great is Drizzle.
Drizzle would make this thing nuts because this would be like an anti Charizard Y, right? Like you just like you let them Mega first because the way Megas work is it's speed based, and so they're going to Mega, and then you get to Mega, they set Drought, and then you set Drizzle, and you have weather control. So
especially because like it really like goes into like this sort of storm cloud sort of motif. Um, Also, just going through, there's a Mega with Sandstream in Tyranitar, a Mega with Drought in Charizard Y, a Mega with Snow Warning already with Abomasnow. We don't have a rain-setting Mega, and I think this would be a really cool one where it also wouldn't be like super, super overpowered in the sense of you're not giving something like say like if Greninja was able to set Drizzle, and now you have these like crazy whatever like boosted water shurikens on base 140 something speed with that sort of special attack as well. Like I think it's a balanced way to give the best weather a mega weather setter without overextending the power of that mega. So I like, again, if it gets or like keeps Berserk, might be good. Probably more meh. If it gets Drizzle or a rain setting ability, like straight up to great.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the new ones.
We have
You
the
want to
new
put it in good?
ones.
Well, we'll put it in good for now. We'll drop it in good for now as a like it'll drop or go in and out. Just a note before we dive into it. I mean, they've been on the screen, so if you've been watching on video, that sucks. If you're talking on audio outside of like the few mentions we've made, if you don't want to be super super spoiled, please, especially like some of the ones we're going to leave towards the end, just
Click away now.
click away now. Yep. We're going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mega Raichus. We got 2 of them, X and Y. Which one do you want to go over first?
We're going X because we got some new information on X after the fact, after the game dropped, because fun fact about Mega Raichu X and Volt Tackle, it gets an attack boost after it uses Volt Tackle.
And not just if it gets a KO, just if it uses the
after it uses it. What that means, it's probably a hint at what its ability is going to be. We don't know what that ability could possibly be doing that, because I don't know if there's a use electric move, get attack boost. I don't think we have an ability that's doing that, so this is probably something unique to Mega Raichu X. Overall, this is, for those that may not understand, like this, the X ones tend to be physical leaning, the Y ones tend to be special leaning. Mega Raichu X is a very physical focused Pokemon. Base attack is going to be 135, 95 in both defenses, 110 speed. So you're fast in terms of overall speed, but you're not getting any faster when you Mega Evolve from Raichu to Mega Raichu X.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, just looking through its stats. One moment, I just want to check. Looking at its stats, like it did. No, it 90 and yeah, no, they literally only put points in its bulk stats and its attack stat.
It's the physical attacker. It's like they did it right. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, this is a Pokemon that when it was announced, I was very interested in. Again, Raichu is another one of these Pokemon that can be potentially used inside and outside of Mega because of your kit. You have Fake Out, you have Nuzzle, like you have all these really cool moves. And again, just we know physical electric is good. Iron Hands is a Fake Out physical electric mon. Could this be like an Iron Hands-esque mon? Potentially, with especially the fact that we have Volt Tackle instead of Wild Charge. This isn't one that will fully depend on the ability, but if the ability is some sort of like quasi weird, whenever you use Volt Tackle, you get a +1 or whatever, and you can just snowball that way, where it's not Moxie in the sense of you have to get the KO, but just Moxie in the sense of when you use this really good move, you're going to click anyways. You can go through with it, and I think that could be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to use, like, once the abilities are announced, I'm excited to use this Pokemon. Raichu's awesome. I think it's just like a neat, funny little guy. Littleroot lessons, the old heads know, the Garachu combo. If you can remember that it's like we had a lot of people from this server playing Raichu all at the same time and developing teams with it all at the same time. So it's cool to see this Pokemon get a boost, not just in the X form, but in the Y form, which is always a more special leaning Pokemon, heavier on glass cannon speed. And again, that's kind of what they did. Base 160 special attack, base 130 speed. This thing is here he is here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah. Y is going to be, I'm going to hit you like twice, and then I'm probably going to go down. It is very min-max to the point where it's just like they took points out of defense just to fit. No, they didn't even change the defense. They just put all the points into speed and special attack, and then gave it 10 attack for some reason.
I think just to balance it so it wasn't like a 140 or 170 base. Like, should have they put it in the little bit of bulk? Yeah, but I think that was more so they were thinking of balancing it.
They could have gotten away with just 5/5 and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mega Raichu Y is probably the
Mega
better,
Mega Raichu.
Mega Raichu.
Mega Raichu.
This one in my opinion is probably the better of the two, just on its face. There's some maybe some hints that this one's ability is probably going to be more aligned to what Raichu has already, and things like Lightning Rod and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what the abilities are on this one. If X's ability ends up being something you can snowball, it probably also jumps into the great tier. They did a very good job, I think, with both the Mega Raichus.
Yeah. I think the big thing with Y, or at least Y, it's
I missed Hawlucha.
Yeah, I was going to say that right after. We'll get to Hawlucha real quick after this, but my last point, I think with Mega Raichu Y, it's just very clear cut this Pokemon does this thing, so I think it's just easy to theory craft without even knowing the ability, because as long as like the ability isn't truant or whatever, like even if it's just a throwaway ability to an extent, 160, 130 just plays, and you just know, like, it just plays. You just know what to do with it. You just
hit things, like that's all you gotta worry about. Mega Hawlucha's good. Mega Hawlucha losing Unburden is probably the weird thing. It might keep Mold Breaker as an ability, and that's fine.
Yeah. Just going through the stats, just real quick, changing them. Hawlucha goes from 92 to 137 attack, 75 to 100 defense, 63 to 93 special defense, and its speed stat stays the same at that 118. I really do think, like, if it gets Mold Breaker or a new ability, if it gets like a brand new ability or something, that'll be like the real kicker to make it go to great. We know how good the flying fighting duo like Stab is. I mean, freaking Flamigo was winning regionals with that duo, so it's a very good stab typing in VGC. We'll talk about a little more in a few more mons. But let's go to Golurk, which is just a personal favorite of mine, just a cool Pokemon.
Yeah, Golurk's cool. I actually have not seen this Pokemon in game yet. So this one, I hadn't got to see the Mega for this Pokemon yet. I'm currently trying to find the stats for Golurk.
I was going to say, so that I can pull it up right now. The notable stat changes: you go from 124 attack to 159, and both of your defenses go from 80 to 105, and then you throw another 15 points in special attack. Your speed stays the same at 55, so you are very slow. Golurk does have two really good abilities and one really bad one. Good ones that you should know are Iron Fist and No Guard. No Guard, of course, helping with being able to hit Dynamic Punch, which, while not a stab move, 100 base power, auto confuse is always good.
Yeah, 100 base auto confuse that hits a Pokemon that hits a type that you're weak against is always good.
Yeah. I think the thing that really hurts is that the two abilities that it has really don't help its stab moves. There's nothing to boost its Earthquake. There's nothing there to boost its physical. If you're running Iron Fist, you can run Shadow Punch.
Iron Fist lets you run Shadow Punch.
Yeah, but like it's still from base 60. Like it. The fact that your options for Physical Ghost are Shadow Punch or Phantom Force, I think that really hurts. We're not going to be playing in a Terra format where you have Terra Blast, Terra insert stab move. So that's going to be that might really hold Golurk back. I think it's a neat Pokemon. It's probably just meh.
Yeah. Meth fits the description. Ground Ghost is something I like. I like typing wise because, again, it's one of those typing combos that, like, I don't think anything resists both Ground and Ghost at the same time without having like an ability or a second typing.
Yeah.
But overall, this might it might be a situation where the abilities makes it better and it can put it in a good.
I think the big issue is the fact that it already has two really good abilities, but neither of those abilities really help its two stab moves. Again, outside of like the Shadow Punch,
Yeah.
like No Guard's a cool move, but the move that you get the most value out of with No Guard is your Dynamic Punch, which again, really good move,
Which
but
is
also not
backwards
stat.
because you want to be doing Iron Fist dynamic punch things, but
That too.
then you can't hit with dynamic punch all the time, and so it's like you're very locked into playing this like the elemental punches and whatnot, and it kind of sucks.
Shimeko, I think, can be good.
This thing it's very
or
ability
could
dependent.
Be great.
Yeah, it's very ability dependent. It gains the steel typing, going from a psychic base type to a psychic steel type. Overall, stat wise, it's just defense, special attack, special defense. That's where all the stats goes. It's a very good design of min maxing the stats. Nothing extra in attack, nothing extra in speed. It doesn't need those things. It's just a very good bulky special attacker now. Gaining some weaknesses that it normally wouldn't care about thanks to its levitate ability kind of sucks.
But we also don't know if it keeps levitate.
It might keep levitate. If it keeps levitate, this thing becomes very, very good because now you're only gaining a fire weakness.
Yeah. I think one of the things that could also be cool for this, just to go over the stats, you go again, your bulk goes from 80 defense, 90 special defense to 110 defense, 120 special defense. Your special attack goes from 95 to 135, and your HP never changes. That's at 75, and your speed stays at 65. One of the abilities I think could be really cool for this Pokemon is if it gets a steel type variant of Liquid Voice, where again you have your boom bursts and your your boom bursts and your what's it called? Hyper Voices become steel type. By dropping levitate, that means that you actually get to be on the terrain to just be the ultimate spread attack like spammer with both like hypothetically your new like metal Liquid Voice boosted hyper voice, and you can like finally start doing like
you get to do
expanding force.
Yeah, you get to do expanding force things. That's the cool part.
Yeah. So I think that if it keeps levitate, cool Pokemon, probably solid. We'll find uses. It'll be like good. I think if it gets that, I would move it towards like the lower part of good.
Yeah,
like,
it's probably down here somewhere. It's very ability dependent.
Yep. But I think there's a lot of options for like cool abilities you can put with this Pokemon. Also, it's Chimecho. Like, look at this.
Look how cute it is.
So, okay, this is going back like over 20 years now to like when I first got, elementary school, like first get like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, etc. And in my friend group, Chimecho was the last Pokemon for us to find or for our Pokedex. We just, because like it's just recess rumors. The internet, like those databases weren't great. Your guidebooks are like, oh, it's here, but like not really. Where is it? And I remember like the first one of us who found it on Mount Pyre. It was like man discovering fire.
Yeah.
So it's always been like for that memory or just that nostalgia. It's been a special Pokemon. The fact that it got a Mega is really cool. Another Pokemon that's cool to get a Mega is Staraptor.
Yeah, this is something I like. It feels like it was destined to have a Mega. Drops the normal type, gains the fighting type,
which is what it should have always had.
Which is what it should have always done to begin with.
Yep.
This is another one where it's like ability probably plays a good portion of how good it is. We know base Staraptor gets to intimidate on switch in. That's really
which is always good.
If this is a Mega that somehow like keeps intimidate, that could be pretty neat. We get access to like stab close combat now. Stat wise, it's kind of just pushed across the board a little bit. It's 20 to your attack, so it goes from 120 to 140. You get 30 in your defense from 70 to 100, 10 in special attack from 50 to 60, 30 in special defense, from 60 to 90, and then 110 speed. So overall, the stat distribution, this is a good way to kind of just push stats in everywhere, and still have a decent Pokemon, unlike Pyroar.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that it was already a relatively min-maxed Mon, and they only threw like the 10 in special attack just to hit that 100-point boost, but again, not to try and
overdo it.
I think this is really great. Getting the fighting type is massive. The fact that you learn close combat when you evolve, and it wasn't a stab move, and now it just becomes a stab move, is really awesome for this Pokemon. Back to what we were just saying with Halucha, which is back to, like, again, Flamigo with that typing, won regionals.
Like,
this is good. A very good typing.
This is going to be probably like a very good bulk up Mon. You could bulk up and then start spamming Brave Birds or close combats, etc. I like this a lot. Ability is probably going to play some more into how good it actually is. I'm gonna talk about you later. You could.
Which one?
Heatran. We're gonna talk about Heatran later. Because Heatran's weird. Heatran's in a weird spot. The next one's Tatsugiri. I'm very excited to talk about my favorite design, because I think it's design wise, this is so cool. Stat wise, I think it's okay.
Yeah, so the stat changes, you go from, like, at least for your key stat changes, you go from 60 defense to 90, 60 defense to 90, 120 special attack to 135, 95 special offense to 125, and then 82 speed to 92 speed. Again, the way that what we were talking about earlier when this was brought up, was it brought up on the pod, or was this before we hit record? Who can say? Regardless, the fact that, like, Dozo was always such, like, a raid boss Mon, a quote, a mega to an extent. The fact that, like, you know, once you beat the Dozo, yeah, sure, you still have to get rid of the Tatsu, you have to get rid of a few other Pokemon, but, like, the raid boss is over, and you just gotta get, like, the last, like, 5-10 points. Now it becomes, oh, you knocked out my Dondozo. Oh, funny rainbow button. Let's do round 2. Let's do this, baby.
Let's mega evolve. Yeah, it's stat wise, it's Pokemon's fine. Type wise, I think it's good. I don't know what it's going to be doing ability wise.
So the only reason why I'm going to say, I think if you're looking at Tatsugiri as an individual Pokemon, it's meh. But I think I don't think you're ever really going to use this Pokemon without Dozo. Yeah. And in that sense, I feel like it makes the Dozo teams, I would be willing to put it in great just for Dozo. because that's the thing. It's like, we're talking about, like, sure, it's base 155.
No, I can solve this problem. I can solve this problem.
Dozo?
Yeah, we're gonna
great. With new, one moment, we're going to put great. You just want to put it right in between. Yeah, just throw that, like, throw that, like, right in between the two. I'll make it Dozo colored, and yep, right. Yeah, done. Because I think, again, going through with it, the fact that Dozo would always have to run this Pokemon that stat-wise was unremarkable. And I'm not saying that the new stats for Mega Tatsugiri are mind-breaking, but, like, again, like, 135 special attack, 92 speed, and then 9125 defenses, base 575 total base stats. Like, this is a very, very real Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're always going to bring it, and so it's item-wise with Tatsu, like, you would see Scarf sometimes, you would see Sash, Goggles, like, Covert Cloak. The item was always just, I kind of need this, I kind of need that, but it was never more so, oh, this is, like, the best way to run it. Well, now the best way to run it is with the Mega Stone. Like, your Mega is there. You don't have to think of that aspect to it. Unless you really want to run another Mega Pokemon with your Tatsugiri and Dondozo. But the fact that it's, like, the Mega spot is already there, you can use your good items on all of your other Pokemon, and yeah, create pretty much a double boss mode with your games. I think it really makes Tatsu a great Mega. I will not use it because I just hate
Yeah.
using Dozo. It's not a fun thing for me to play. It's not fun for me to play against. And if you like this mon or like the team, I'm not, no shame. Congratulations, Nintendo just gave you the best Christmas gift ever. But yeah, like this is going to be annoying. Meowstick, yeah,
It's a weird thing because we've talked about delphox getting a real good push because all of the stats went into the special and speed side. Meowstick does a very similar thing. The problem, both Meowstick forms will be able to mega, and it becomes the same Pokemon. The Mega Meowstick, the Meowsticks going from male to Mega are not as good as the Meowsticks probably going from female to Mega.
correct.
Female, you will likely be always playing female Meowstick as a Mega Pokemon with the competitive, getting maybe that stat boost on a cheeky Intim switch, and then you Mega Evolve, and you're now what 143 special attack is +1.
Yep, and then
really
also
cool.
100, and also the 124 speed, 101 special defense. It does get like a lot. It's again the way that they distributed the stats for this Pokemon are very like it makes it similar to what we said about Delphox, Flutter Mane esque. The issue is the male version you're running always for Prankster, and you're doing like Prankster screens, Encore, etc. It's going from that sort of play style into a Mega
It doesn't translate well.
Yeah, not at all. So female, so yeah, like they gave it for both forms, but really it's just going to be like female Meowstic.
Your female Meowsticks are the only ones you're gonna want to Mega Evolve.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, we would always see the male version for VGC. Very rarely, if ever, the female. This gives female Meowstic something to do, and I think that's neat.
The issue is the defense doesn't change on it. You're still very weak on the physical side.
I'm also saying like I think it's more so like closer to meh than actually good.
Yeah, like it was like you could put it up here down here at the bottom of good, but I really don't like it. I really think it's kind of just whatever. Also, I just did the fight for it like on stream, and they made that fight way too hard for what it needed to be. I think that was the first time I had to retry a fight like 3 times.
The toughest fight for me in the games I played, the Barbarical fight was just I don't know what about it, but it was just miserable for me.
Wait till you get to this one because this one's rough. I feel like it's Skull Villain's. This feels like the laziest design. Oh yeah,
yeah. The Meowstic fights, but yeah, let's talk about Skull Villain. This is immediate meh.
Like the design just feels boring. This is done dirty by the fact that like let's lean into it being this physical special split Pokemon more than we already did. It's getting 20 to both defenses. Cool. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't do enough.
Yeah, so 20 to both defenses, bringing them from 65 to 85, and then 30 to both offenses, bringing both from 108 to 138. So you don't get any extra speed, so you're still slow. You're pretty much a slightly better version of what you were, which was just like a mixed attacker. Again, we saw Skull Villain in the past, people doing some weird things with it, with Moody and with Spicy Extract. But like it was a gimmicky Pokemon that just that good team builders like found a use for. It's not good if you're using it as your Mega. That's a mistake.
Yeah. Also, one thing to note is overall, like the chlorophyll ability is the reason why people got away with it. You may not keep chlorophyll. Who knows what you're gonna do. You didn't really get any speed boost, so regular Skull Villain is just as fast as Mega Skull Villain. So don't waste your Mega. Just use regular Skull Villain. Golisopod. Okay, so this one's cool. Golisopod goes from Water Bug to Steel Bug, so it becomes very Scizor-esque. The difference is this thing stays stupid slow, and
at base 40, yes,
it goes stupid slow, gets even bulkier, gets more attack. They did a very good job min-maxing the stats on this one. It's only got a 10 special attack boost. But like 175 defense, 120 special defense on Mega Golisopod is,
along with 150 attack.
Like, is nothing to sneeze at. This Pokemon's probably good to great depending on what the ability is. I imagine it's probably some kind of steel, hard body, etc. style.
Like even like battle armor.
Yeah, it might just be battle armor, which is good. Like battle armor on something like that is really good.
Yeah, just literally, this is another Pokemon where it's like anything not emergency exit is great. One of the great aspects of this as well is that not only do you have Aqua Jet, but you have First Impression. So you have 2 different stab moves that are priority to completely ignore your issue with your speed. And then, of course, you can run it in Trick Room to go and just play as a Trick Room sweeper as well. Steel type is always just a really good type. I think it's going to be a good Mon. The weakness to water types, to fire types, going from neutral to ×4 sucks. But if that's like your big issue, you can still have a water type attack on it, or just don't mega it and get rid of the
you get to play
beforehand.
that back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't have to mega this, and I still get to hit you with stuff. Glamora, I'm not sure how to feel about this one. It feels like it's just a giant stat stick now.
Yeah, so Glamora's the key changes going from now one of the actually in terms of like it did kind of I'm just looking through it. It did kind of get screwed with its distribution. 45 of its 100 new points went to its attack stat, bringing it from 55 to 90, which is still one of its worst. It's still its worst stat that isn't HP. But the fact that you kind of just like lost almost half of your new stats in a place you'll never use them, that feels really bad. Defense goes from 90 to 105. Special defense from 81 to 96. Special attack from 130 to 150. And then speed from 86 to 101. So even with that, like in the grand scheme of things, 45 point dump, it still has a lot of good stats. Base 101's really good speed-wise. 150's awesome for your special attack. I think the big thing here is, you're going to be running as a stat stick.
The question is like, again, it's kind of in that same Chandelure bubble. It's just like, it's just a slightly better Glamora. Is that something you worth wasting your mega on?
And I think
I will say, I do think the attack boost is actually relevant.
Because you could run Mortal Spin better.
The Mortal Spin damage does add up, and you do have a lot of the physical rock coverage in things like Rock Slide, Gunk Shot, etc. Stone Edge, things like that are things you have access to. So that's kind of neat.
I think the other side
you also can blow up.
Yeah, you can also blow up, which is big. Blowing up's fun. You have explosion. But going back to even just what you were saying, like is this a Pokemon you want to commit your Mega to?
Yeah, that's
we have the Power or Meteor Beam already as like a set where do you care about this Pokemon with is the extra bulk enough because it's already boosting its special attack and you have a great Rock Stab move. The Mega won't be able to run Meteor Beam. You're going to be forced, unless you want to wait the extra turn for it to do something, you're going to have to stick with Power Gem. So that's the other thing where you're looking with that. You're going to be missing that automatic nuke button that will then boost your attacks up even more.
Yeah, the real question for this one is like, does the ability make it worth it? Because the stat distribution, I don't think makes it worth it. Yeah, but it's already a high BST in general at 525, and then it got an extra 100 stats. Yes, 45 of it is an attack, but it's still an extra 60, an extra 55 across the board. So it's effectively a 600-ish Pokemon. Like, that's still really good in my opinion.
Yeah.
Crabominable.
Another fun one. This Pokemon doesn't change type.
No,
it goes.
This one's interesting.
Yeah. So your stat. So this is another one where they kind of they leaned a lot more into making it a slower Pokemon, dropping your speed from 43 to 33, and then they put a ton of stats in its attack stat and its bulk. Attack goes from 132 to 157. 77 defense to 122 defense, and 67 special defense up into 107. You play this thing in the snow and you throw that extra multiplier on top of it, it's effectively, you can get up to a 183 defense stat.
Yeah.
Abilities on this Pokemon are good as well. You specifically, it's Iron Fist, along with Hyper Cutter to stop the attack stat from lowering. It's another ability that is immune to Intimidate. Fighting and Ice type coverage are really, really great offensively. Defensively, you have
It's 6 weaknesses, 3 resists.
Yeah, so you're weak to Fire, Fighting, Fairy, Steel. Fire, Fighting, Fairy, Steel, Psychic, and Flying, and you get an Ice, Dark, and Bug resist.
The cool thing is you also get to hit the Steel and the Flying for super effective because of your typing in general. So those 2 weaknesses are also scared of you.
Yeah.
My big selling point is the Hyper Cutter. You can't intimidate this thing before it megas.
Yep.
So it's going to punch you full force, at least on the first turn. 157 whatever is going to hit like a truck.
Yeah, and especially when you're looking at attacks like Close Combat, Ice Hammer.
First Impression.
First Impression. It gets First Impression now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's new. Didn't know it got that. That's a fun one. There's a lot of different things like you can do with this Mon. You also get other coverage moves such as Knockoff, Thunder Punch, Liquidation, Zen Headbutt. You get EQ, Iron Head. There's a lot of different attacks it gets. It could be another like really good bulk up Pokemon. I'm curious to see, like, this is probably going to be on a Trick Room team again with that 33 speed stat. You're going to be slow as hell. But yeah, I think this is another Mon that's probably in that meh to good. I like it. I mean, the more cool ice types, the better. I could also feel like this could be a like souped up Mamoswine in the sense of when you look at it, the type, the ability, the attacks, everything makes sense. Why is this not good? And then you play it in practicality, and it's just not good. Baxcalibur is. I feel like Baxcalibur's going up in great.
It has to.
Because we know how good Baxcalibur is.
Like base Baxcalibur's been average,
one of the
good,
best Pokemon,
and then this thing, it's one of the many, like one of the 700 base stat total, 175 attack, 117 defense, 101 special defense.
Speed staying the same kind of hurts it, but it makes sense design wise because they put a massive sword on it.
Like if anything, it should have got slower.
Yeah. Does it suck that they put 30 points in special attack bringing to the base 105? Again, they're doing that to try to balance the Pokemon and not make it super broken.
Yeah.
If it was like
175 attacks already enough. Like
yeah. I think this is another Pokemon that it depends on what the ability is, because a lot of different ways we run it. It already has a really great ability.
This is one where I could see the ability doesn't change. I think Thermal Exchange being the ability across the board is fine.
The only thing that, like, at least the success that we've seen with the Pokemon in recent play has been with this loaded dice set and Icicle Spear and Scale Shot. And now we're moving away from that, and you're going back to like the more classic set we played in 2023 in regulations A through C, where you're going more so just like Icicle Spear, Glaive Rush, and insert like other coverage move here with Protect. It's going to be a very straightforward
Iron
Pokemon.
Head, Zen Headbutt, Earthquake,
or even just like double ice coverage, just so like as well.
Sword Stance.
Yep.
Whatever you want to do with it.
It's going to be a straightforward Pokemon, but yeah, because of the fact that it is base 700, it is a stat stick that can just blow open things.
I see what happened. Okay, so I think it got access to Ice Hammer.
What?
Yeah, it got access to Ice Hammer going into ZA. That's actually huge.
Yeah, so for those of you...
That's already... It's a better Icicle Crash for the most part.
Yeah, so it does. So the way that Ice Hammer works, it's similar to Hammer Arm, base 100 power, 90 accuracy, but none of your physical ice attacks are outside of Ice Punch are accurate to begin with. and it will also lower the user speed stat, which does suck. With that being said,
your speed stat wasn't getting boosted by your mega anyway, so you're not actually missing anything. It's the same as if you were just regular. But that's actually a buff to base Excalibur more than it is a buff to mega Excalibur.
Yeah, the fact that you have an attack now that you can swing for 100 base power with both Glaive Rush and Ice Hammer, that's just really, really good and powerful. So yeah, no, just keeping it great. Do you want to do
We'll do Heatran next.
And then the new ones.
Heatran is interesting. It's going to be great just regardless, just because of the stat total.
Yeah, this is a Pokemon that I literally do not care what the ability is. Just going through the changes that matter. Which, like, they did dump 30 points into its attack stat. I don't care. That's how good it is. Your defense stays the same at 106. Already was good. Special attack goes from 130 to 175. Special defense goes from 106 to 141. And your speed drops 10 points from 77 to 67.
That's the kicker. That's the important part, is that 10-point speed drop. That is what's important.
Because you become unbelievable in Trick Room now.
Yeah, you are probably one of the best Trick Room cleanup mons in most of the formats where Heatran would be legal.
No, honestly, this is a Pokemon. I know I just kind of complain about the attack stat thing. The attack stat actually does help too, because you can go and now, instead of running Flash Cannon for your Steel type stab, you can go and run Heavy Slam.
Yeah,
because this Pokemon is going to. So Heatran was already heavy at 430 kilograms. 570. The boy is thick with like.
It is dealing damage with that Heavy Slam. Yeah. Unless it is like into specifically like Groudon or Kyogre or other big Pokemon. It's going to deal massive damage.
Yeah, no, this is just like, again, 91, 106, 141 defenses are just utterly crazy. And that 175 special attack is just insane as well. You have we know that the typing's great. This is a mon where it could, again, keep Flash Fire. Yeah. And it's just insane. I think that this is like just min-maxing mons. Again, the fact that you have Heavy Slam and can use Heavy Slam, the attack increase, while again a little annoying that you got 30 points there, you can at least, there's sets that will make use out of that. It's just crazy strong when this mon is legal. This is a Pokemon that is worth using both, like it's worth committing just for the stats alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the last, I'm going to cover all three of these probably pretty quick because they are all kind of interesting in terms of how they were designed. If I remember correctly, the only big change is a couple stat boosts and swaps.
I was going to say there's some stat changes and some type change. I think they're worth like just quickly going over. And what we'll talk about,
we'll cover Lucario Z first.
Because it changed the least.
It's the one that changed the least between regular Lucario and Mega Lucario Z. The big thing to know about the Z Megas is they are all min-maxed to hell. They are incredibly fast and they hit incredibly hard. Starting with Mega Lucario Z. Mega Lucario Z is more of a special attacker, whereas Mega Lucario Base was more of a mixed attacker. Pretty much the Zs all get 2 stats just maxed out, and it's always speed and whatever offensive stat they want to lean into. Mega Lucario Z goes from a 115 special attack on base Lucario to a 140 on Mega Lucario to a 164 on Mega Lucario Z. That's the big difference between the Megas. The other elephant in the room, they're all 151 speed.
Yes, every single one of them. And also, just to give a little more like intro on what we're talking about, like what's a Z Mega. These are the new Mega forms. They are Pokemon that have already received Megas that got this alternate form that's brand new to the DLC. That we're calling a Z, like the Z Mega. Again, they're usually min-max. Every single one of them has 151 speed, which is some of the it's like talking about Pokemon that are notable. They're the fastest. Like in that, they're going to be the fastest notable Pokemon in whatever whatever meta game that you play them in. In terms of like Pokemon, like in Legend ZA, their whole thing is they can your charging time and your response time is a lot faster.
It's faster,
but it also burns through your Mega Bar a lot quicker.
So the Mega Bar burns at double rate. So if your Mega would last X amount of seconds, your Z Megas last about half that.
Yep.
And then they charge moves about twice as fast.
Yeah. So again, it's just min-max. Your defenses are 70, 70, 70. 164 special attack, 151 speed. You keep your fighting steel typing. This, again, similar to Mega Raichu Y. Good time, not long time. Yeah. This is going to blow holes into teams. I think what's really cool is that the fact that you are a full special attacker, it actually is a Lucario set that makes sense to use Aura Sphere and not the close combat that was usually used. Like, you can actually play your signature move, which I think is neat. Did it get any other like new moves?
Not that I saw. But again, you gotta take all the ZA stuff with a grain of salt. Things will probably change between now and Champions.
Well, even then, it's like we know that it gets like all the different pulse moves. You have Flash Cannon, Aura Sphere is going to be big. You have actually what's really cool is that you have Stab Vacuum Wave, and you have that. It's only 40 base power, but it's that priority stab off of your absolutely massive special attack stat. For the few things that you might speed tie or whatever, you can just be like, oh, priority. Boop.
Yep. Boop.
Also, you get Steel Beam. Steel Beam is neat. Really goes into the whole good time, good time, long time. If you hit something with Steel Beam, it will knock them out. Also, if you use Steel Beam when you're 50% HP or less, it'll also knock you out.
Yeah. Next one's Garchomp. Garchomp's big thing is it loses the ground typing. It is a mono dragon type, which both is good and bad. Again, 151 speed, but the big adjustment to Garchomp over what regular Garchomp is it becomes a full-blown special attacker.
Yep. Yes, when you go through the stats, the bulk isn't great. The attack stat is still your physical stat is still 130, but your special attack is now 141, that 151 speed, and your bulk is 108 HP and then 85 in both defenses. Being mono dragon is interesting. I like losing your immunity to. So you lose your immunity to electric.
Yeah,
but you still resist it.
It was already resist. It wasn't the end of the world. The big thing is you lose stab on all your ground moves.
Do you get? I was going to say, do you get? I don't even think. Like, I'm just going through it. You get Scorching Sand.
Earth Power. Actually,
you do. I was going to say you do get Earth Power.
Like it has it had access to all the special dragon, the special ground moves, but the problem is just like you lose access to all your stab ground coverage, which would you play on base Garchomp, which is why it's probably just a good tier. Yes, it is a 151 speed mon. It is still going to do stuff. It's just not going to the mega. At that point though, is just like the mega Garchomp regular wasn't that great. Mega Garchomp Z probably isn't going to turn any heads.
Now one of the things, and they did prep for this in the sense of Garchomp does get Nasty Plot now, so you are able to run it as a Nasty Plot booster, get one plot up, and then you can probably just sweep through teams. So there is, again, it's a very that is a very straightforward path on this is how we're playing this Pokemon. But at the other time, I think this is one that we're going to need to see. I think ability is going to matter.
That's the big thing. Is ability is going to matter a ton. Like your ability is going to have to make it worth playing Mega Garchomp Z.
Yeah, like the ability doesn't matter.
Draco Meteor is your best move, and it misses. And that's not good.
Yeah, because the ability doesn't matter for Lucario Z, and it also really won't matter for the next one, which, oh my god.
So
Mega Absol Z.
Welcome to the Black Parade. This is Mega Absol Z gains the ghost typing. The rest of the stats outside of attack and speed stay the same. 145 attack, 151 speed.
154.
154 attack, 151 speed.
Yeah.
Which Mega Absol base is 150 attack, and 115 speed. So it's like, yeah, cool. We're just faster, edgier.
Yeah, like literally what it did was it took your Mega Absol, its special attack was 115. It just took all of those points out of the special attack and threw them in the speed stat.
Yeah, it just dumped them into the speed stat. Which it's good for Absol because this is probably the better Mega of the two, specifically just because it is a dark and ghost type now, not just a mono dark type. Ability probably won't play a huge role in it. Mega Absol's ability is Magic Bounce. I would imagine we could probably see something similar to Mega Absol Z. But the big thing is like you have 3 immunities, 1 weakness, 1 resist. It's a good typing. You're faster than Fluttermane. You get to butcher it now. Like,
yeah.
I don't
know.
This is their response to, okay, Fluttermane's good. Okay, we'll just fix this problem.
Yeah, this has a lot of really, really cool things it can do. You have a lot of different physical attacks. Just going through, you have Knockoff, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, Play Rough, Aerial Ace. You get I already said Knockoff. Shadow Claw, of course, Stone Edge, X Scissor. You get Close Combat, which is cool. So like, there's a lot of different things. Phantom Force. So there's like a lot of awesome things that this Pokemon can do. It has
Play Rough.
all different. Yeah, I said Play Rough.
I missed Play Rough.
Yeah, Zen Headbutt. The fact, like, even just typing wise, this is you're only weak to Fairy. You have Prankster immunity, you have Fighting type immunity, you have Normal type immunity. So there's like this. This was the typing that pre-Fairy was the quote-unquote no weakness typing.
There's a reason why Sableye and Spiritomb were the only ones to have this typing.
Yeah. And now you're giving that typing to an incredibly, incredibly powerful Pokemon that is just min-max to hell. Intimidate will slow it down in the sense of, you're left with 3 hit points instead of dead, but and if that, not even. This is just a crazy cool Pokemon. Design wise, I think it's really awesome. I like when I saw this, it was like
very outside the aspect of what Pokemon is. It's very
you said it was like very like Dark Souls.
It feels very Dark Souls, Elden Ring-esque. I
was gonna say, it's very Eldritch. Like, this is something that came out of H.P. Lovecraft's like just like drug-addled mind in the streets of Providence one night.
Yeah.
Is where Mega Absol was came from. While I'm not like a big like honestly, I look at the Z Megas and these are all just Carter Pokemon.
Oh yeah, they're all Carter
because
Pokemon
because they're just like min-max,
push the button, do the damage, run around.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I kind of do want to see if I could build a team with Mega Absol Z. That's another one. I'm really interested in using you when we do get these Pokemon, hopefully in Champions, relatively soon. Mainly because it's like, it just looks cool. Absol's another Pokemon that is just nostalgic and cool for me. And the fact that this one, like, when I first saw like the first Mega Absol, like, oh, this might be so awesome, and then it sucked.
Yeah,
and it was disappointing. This Bond's not going to suck. This Bond's going to be very good.
Yeah, this Bond's going to be good. All right.
So, I think that's that's good. We have these down here.
We're not going to talk about these because they're mostly mythicals and or legendary restricteds and or event mons that we don't understand how they're going to be in the format, because I personally think the Eternal Floette's going to get locked to ZA.
Yeah, I could see a world where maybe, like, out of any of these 5, I think like the first one we would see would be, if at all, would be the Eternal Floette. But again, it's like we can't be sure, and who knows if they'll be in base decks. If the Eternal Floette is in base decks, we will probably be tiering it at some point, because it'll probably be pretty solid.
Yeah,
and that is it. Any other thoughts on the DLC, like as a whole, like for the time you've played, like just general
I like
story?
making donuts. It's fun.
Yeah, no, I like the fact that Team MZ, the story is literally you adopted a child and her donut demon, and are joined by the most like hyperactive lesbian that Pokemon could come up with.
Yeah.
That is my summary of the story from what I played.
Yeah, that is pretty much the summary.
Which I'm fucking game for. And yeah, are you going to be continuing your playthrough or on stream?
That is the plan for at least a little while, at least till I get all through the missions and whatnot.
Okay. And so you can enjoy that by watching us on stream, and of course watching us on this episode on our YouTube page at Littleroot Lessons. You can hear the audio version, which I believe now has video on Spotify, or has had video on Spotify. Yeah. On Spotify and other podcatchers such as Apple Podcasts or any other podcatcher that you'd like to use. You're able to reach out to us on social media as well on Blue Sky at Littleroot Lessons, and your hosts, Carter at Mr. Missouri 25, Carl at Musical, and myself at Rose Tinted Cheeks. We also have our Discord. Join the Discord, hop in. We've been talking about a bit of Regulation F, a bit of the new megas, a lot of fun things coming up. This is kind of the VGC dead period. Once we get Toronto prep in full swing at the beginning of the new year, we'll probably start seeing more, and then hopefully once we get some champions news, that's when things will just really
that'll be when everything picks up again.
Yeah. And let us know if you've played the DLC. What new Mega Pokemon are you excited to use? Whether it's in your overall playthrough in Pokemon ZA or the Pokemon you're most excited to use, new Mega you're excited to use once we get champions.
Yeah.
Again, I'd say mine overall is Mega Raichu X. And what's yours?
I love the design for Geary, but it's probably not the one I'm excited to use. I'm actually probably more excited to like play with like Baxcalibur or something like that.
Yeah. So Mega Raichu X and Baxcalibur, two of the megas that we already saw before the game came out.
Yeah. Two Pokemon megas we already got spoiled ahead of time. That's fine.
Yep. Awesome. Great job, folks. And then again, just let us know. And have a great week, everyone. Bye now.
Bye-bye.